gotta get up. You gotta get up and make a move. 'Cause the world will never see you until you do. No, they don't really care what you're going through. So you gotta show them, baby. You gotta show them the real you. You gotta give them what you got. No, don't let them see what you're not. 'Cause you are strong. You are wise. You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. And you can't be perfect, baby. 'Cause nobody's perfect, darling. But no, 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 there's nobody in the world like you. What do you do when you can't let go? What do you say when you just don't know how you feel? And you know nobody knows how you feel. 'Cause everybody's got their own damn problem. So everybody's trying to find their way. And day by day is a struggle. In this world, you know you have to hustle. Just know that you're not alone. You don't always have to be strong all by yourself. I said it's okay to ask for help. Now listen. People will find you, but they don't define you. And you will find people who help redesign you. People will find you, but they don't define you. And you will find people who help redesign you. You are a work of art. Bet you didn't think you'd come this far. Now here you are. Baby, you are strong. You are wise. You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. And you can't be perfect, baby. 'Cause nobody's perfect, darling. But no, 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 there's nobody in the world like you.
To apply for, and it just seems like we are everywhere professionally, and this does not exclude me. Okay, this happens to every single one of us. As long as we've made up our minds to start up something, we just get busy. We are always busy working on something that affects our portfolio. We're editing our CV. Each time I talk to people who seem to be in the professional space as young people like myself, they're either reworking their CV or something. They're always doing something to increase their professional game. But the problem is we can be so focused on our professional life that we miss out in our personal life. When I say personal, I'm saying we don't do anything else except professional. When we go out for picnics, it's only because it's an official picnic where we have to meet a potential client or because we have to meet a potential sponsor or something. When we go to a dinner party, it's because the next man who is supposed to sign a contract is going to be there. And so everything we're doing revolves, it just keeps going round and round our professional life. Now, that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing because it puts money on the table and money provides everything else we think we need, right? But the downside of that is that we only service one aspect of our lives. So if you have a pen and a paper around you, you could do this later. They call it the wheel of life. Draw a perfect circle. Maybe get a bottle cover, get a compass if you're a science student and you want to get it really neat. Get a compass, draw a circle, divide it into 8. Yes. You know the way you draw your north, east, west, and south, and then you divide that again. Now put professional or career, put romance, put finance, put what else do you want? Family, put friends, put anything else you want out in the other spaces, and then rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. If let's say my professional life is on the north, is heading north, right? Between 1 to 10, what number will I give it? Let's say 9. And my romance is non-existent. Okay, so it will be a 0 or a 1. I have very good friends, so let's say 8. I have time for my family, so let's say 8 too. Now, when you look at family and friends, it looks quite balanced. Now, when I look at my professional life, it means I gave it more priority because it's 9, right? And my romance life is 0. So I begin to ask myself, why is my romance life 0? Why is my romance life 1? Why is my relationship not working? Okay, so that's the wheel of life experiment. All right. I'm just going to continue about why we need emotions, why we need to work on this aspect of our lives. In our article, I remembered focusing on how we can invest so much in one aspect of our mind. When we have a goal, when I set a goal and say I am going to be Africa's youngest this, and I hit that goal, the moment I set up my mind for the goal, my brain releases what is called dopamine. Dopamine helps me to reach my goal. Is that excitement. That's why when you set out new plans, there's this energy you have. That energy you have is dopamine release. Now, when you hit the goal, you get it. That excitement that, yes, I did it. Now, in the process of reaching your goal, people get to respect you. You get to have a standard, something people respect. You understand? Now, what that does is that you release serotonin. Serotonin is the chemical we release when we come into a place of social dominance. All right. Now, what happens is we can be so focused on getting goals, respect, that we realize we don't have social bonds. Social bonds come with oxytocin. Let me use my area of expertise, sex. When you have sex, what happens is that you have large doses of oxytocin within a certain period of time. And that's why immediately after having sex with someone, you feel like I can be here forever. This person, I trust this person, I'm comfortable with this person, I like this person. All that reaction is just your brain speaking, oxytocin release. The same thing happens when a mother gives birth to a child. I can die for this child. That feeling is oxytocin release. But what happens is in everyday life, as we keep friends, as we build relationships, as we sustain trust, we have small doses of oxytocins, right? So if we eliminate friendships and relationships and family and we just keep focusing on work, can you already see that we're already having a lopsided chemical release in our brains? Do you understand? We begin to have this lopsided reaction to life. We are emotionally unavailable. We are professionally everywhere. There are people that you cannot have emotional conversations with. The moment you start, it's almost as if you're about to kill them. They can't take it, they can't stand it. But the downside of it is when they are not working, they have no one else to talk to. All right? They have no one else to talk to. They are just in this space. So the goal of today's class, the goal of today's class is to this class is live. The goal of today's class is to help us find that balance. All right. I hope I've been able to help you clarify why we are building this in the first place. As an entrepreneur, knowing you can work anytime is a two-edged sword. You will either have time for other things by working with schedule. I'm reading the article I had already sent. By working with schedule, or overwork yourself because it's work on your terms. Many of us feel like as an entrepreneur, I can do my own thing at my own time. But let me ask you, last time you really had time for yourself? Like, this is a question I really need you to think about. When was the last time you had time to sleep in the afternoon for 2 hours? When was the last time you picked up a pen to write something and it was not about your next business deal? When was the last time you called a friend and your conversation did not revolve back to your company or to a meeting or to something? When was the last time you took yourself out and the goal was not to meet someone that had to do with work? The reason I'm asking these questions is it's so easy to feel I'm chilling, but then when an outsider comes in, they can tell you are not resting, you're working. I write poetry for fun, or rather, I used to write poetry for fun. But after a while, I found out that my poetry was no longer for fun. I began to write because my poetry is good, and now I have to give it structure. My poetry is good, and now I have to send it out for publication. I have to send it to someone to vet it. After a while, poetry was no longer fun. Poetry became another type of work. And so, after counseling people, poetry was supposed to be for fun. Now poetry is a type of work, so much so that people were asking me to teach them. Now it defeats the purpose of a hobby. It's not bad for your hobby to become really good, But then it defeats the purpose if it becomes another type of work. So I had to tell myself, Elizabeth, you will rest with poetry. When you write poetry, it will be for fun. Miss the rhythm, miss the rhymes, miss it, but rest. All right. So as an entrepreneur, you have free time, you think. But is there a possibility that you're still working at 12 a.m.? If you were working in someone else's office, someone else had employed you, and you had to submit a project the next morning, would you have been in the office at 12 a.m.? No. So why are you in your house working at 12 a.m.? Because you're an entrepreneur and you have to make it work, right? But in an attempt to make it work, is there a tendency that you are overruling your personal life? How many of us are in relationships? Are our partners comfortable? There was this young professional I met one time, and he was so busy working till he had this conference, and he slumped in between his conference and the hotel where he was lodging. They had to get him an ambulance to rush him to the hospital to rest. It was that bad. And some of us are probably worse. We're taking this course, we're going for this I started with three things rather. I started with your wheel of life and balance, right? And then I moved into the second point, which was knowing that you were living a lopsided life if you were investing in social bonds. That's the second. And now we're talking about the third thing, resting and knowing timing. So as an entrepreneur, do you put yourself on a schedule that 9 to 5 p.m. is work? If you call me between 9 to 5 to gist, I'll tell you, hey guys, sorry, I did work. I will do it later. All right. 9 to 5, guys, this is work period. You can even put it on your WhatsApp. I'll respond to this at 5 p.m. Or you have a separate line for yourself between 9 to 5. Give your work everything else, right? And then when after 5 p.m., give yourself time. Time to sleep, time to sleep, time to eat, time to have fun, time to work out, time to talk to your friends. Give yourself time. Like, these things help you, because over time, you don't eat well, you don't have time for social bonding. What you're doing is you're piling up emotionally. Every little thing, you get agitated. You just find out that you can't sleep anymore. You're restless because you're overworking yourself. All right. So learn to rest, dear entrepreneur. Really, really learn to rest. Learn to connect with people. When you go for next project, I am still learning this myself. Don't just learn to meet people. Hey, hi, my name is Elizabeth and I'm a sex therapist and I can help you. And in the moment, you just miss the fact that this person could be a friend. Your friends, you should be able to do business with your friends, but you should also be able to sit with them and have conversations that are not work related. I'm a sex therapist. I have a friend who works in the media. I have another friend who is an accountant. My mentor is a lawyer. When we have work conversations, we have serious work conversations. But within the same heartbeat, we should be able to switch and talk about man and laugh about it. You get what I'm saying? You should be able to have that work-life balance. Don't just be all work and no play. They say all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. And then we also say all play and no work makes Jack a dull boy too. So work and play, have time, have a schedule. Give yourself time. Fourthly, have your goals. If my goal this month is to build my website, right? When I build my website, I should celebrate it. So let's say I had a goal to finish my website in 4 weeks. I'm building it myself, remember? And then I finish in 3 weeks, 3 days. I should give myself the remaining 4 days to rest, because originally, if I had stuck to the schedule, I'll be finishing in that timeline. Give myself time to rest. Celebrate yourself for your little wins. I know you want to push yourself, get out of your boundary, get out of your comfort zone. But there's a tendency that you would also push yourself to breaking point. Some of us don't have friends anymore. Some of us, people can no longer talk to us. Some of us don't even know what it means to rest anymore. If they tell some of us to stay indoors for a whole day without our laptops, we'll be sick. If they tell us to, I noticed recently that I couldn't stay without my laptop or a book. My laptop is work. Book used to be fun, but then now book has also become work, considering the fact that I am also a content creator and I'm